beautiful as usual. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are glad you're here. My name is Kevin and I'm the worship associate today, although I may seem more like an MC by the time we finish. This is a Come As You Are congregation, and you are welcome here just as you are. I want to extend a special welcome to those who are visiting for the first or second time. If you would like to stay connected to us, please be sure and sign up with the folks in the back. Here at Namakwa UU, we foster a beloved community that celebrates diversity, strives for peace and justice, acts mindfully for the good of the planet, and inspires spiritual growth through a free and loving search for truth and meaning. We honor the ground we walk upon and acknowledge this land as the traditional and ancestral homeland of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. We recognize and honor the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and God to reconcile the deep wounds that still shape our world today. A few announcements. Tuesday from 2 to 3 is Senior Connect. Thursday from noon to 1 is Social Sisterhood. Thursday from 3 to 5 is Social Justice. Saturday from 10 to 12, the ministries meet at the bi-monthly council meeting. Saturday 10 to noon is a posture and balance class, and Saturday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. dances of universal peace. All that stuff is here. It's on the website.
They need to get their volume out.
Next week, join us for Storytelling That Heals, our regular 10 a.m. Sunday service. Doug, Stewart, and Jim Neal are on tap for that. Join us in Parker Hall for coffee hour after the service. Parker Hall is just to our north, and therein lie our bathrooms also. Note the new sign above the door that now you can find Parker Hall if you didn't know what it was. Thank you, Al. Thanks for everybody involved in today's service. It truly took 3 communities to put this together, but it's all going to go well. Please silence your cell phones. And I'd like to invite Loretta and Sasha up to light the chalice.
We light this chalice in the spirit of kindness and connection.
Here we create friendships across the generations.
Here we share smiles and hugs. We share stories and songs. We laugh and cry together.
Here it is safe to stretch and grow through arts and mistakes and triumphs. This flame reminds us how lucky we are to grow together in this community.
And this flame reminds us to do our best, to use our gifts to bless the world in the spirit of love.
Please join us in saying our Congregational Affirmation. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is called. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Go ahead and get to know the person sitting next to you or behind you or around you. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, it will be. I don't have to do much. I just have to make.
Powerhouse of speakers you lined up.
Oh. Start the video. Video. Joni Mitchell. Yeah? Yep.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full
Feel free to join in.
of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle again. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet too slow, the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
It's always nice to hear Joni Mitchell's voice. We did plan on having the words up there, whatever. Today, we continue Namakwa's historical tradition of our decade service. There are probably some of you here who haven't experienced this. We celebrate this on the first Sunday of each month. Go. I'd be dead. No, the first Sunday of each new year. Soon you will hear once again the words from Mary Oliver's poem, The Summer Day, in which she asks a very important question. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? On this first Sunday of 2025, we are rich in speakers. This morning we have 9 members from our multi-generational congregation, ranging from age 5 to age 91, representing a span of 9 decades and 4 generations. So let me introduce you to them. We have Ocean Alexander. Would you stand, please, and stay standing while we see the whole crew? You might want to stand on the pew. Sure, there you go. Sasha Tyschenko. Curtis Hopehill, just stay standing. Meagan Foster. Dona Leonard. Doug Stewart. Randy Schnepf. Loretta Hogg. And Marie Steen, who will join us on video. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much, speakers, for being part of the service, and thanks to friends and family who have come here to support you. This service is one of the meaningful ways that we create connections between the generations in our community. As we listen with respect and gratitude to the sharing of our 9 brave speakers, I offer you this image by Wendell Berry of circles within circles joined in a dance of life. We clasp the hands of those that go before us and the hands of those that come after us. We enter the little circle of each other's arms and the larger circle of lovers whose hands are joined in a dance, and the larger circle of all creatures passing in and out of life, who move also in dance, to a music so subtle and vast that no one hears it except in fragments. Picture us now gathered together, safe and warm, listening and sharing stories of our lives under the canopy of an imaginary story tree. Vicki, would you come and read us the poem, please?
When Kathy called me or texted me, whatever, and asked if I would be interested and willing to read this poem, I felt like I had come full circle. Let me explain. Years ago, I was on the worship ministry team, and so it was my pleasure to invite people to be the speakers for this decade's service, and it had always been one of my favorite services. And then in my 60s once, and when I was 80, I think, I was asked if I would participate as one of the speakers and answer the question in the poem. So it is today truly my honor and privilege to read the poem that is the reason for our service today. Kind of weird that we have the summer day on such a frosty morning, but it's great. So here is Mary Oliver's The Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? The grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps open her wings and floats away. And then Mary says, I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down in the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. I mean, tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Thank you. Well, let's get started with our young'uns. And after each presenter, would you please join me in saying, dear, in this case it'll be Ocean, it is a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Ocean, Kat?
We got a few things we want to do. All right. So I asked Ocean some questions so that we could get some good responses, and Ocean has amazing responses. The first question I asked Ocean was, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A train conductor.
And what kind of train do you want to run?
A cab forward.
It's a cab forward engine, where the cab is in the front, engine in the back.
Very wonkadoodle.
It's very wonkadoodle, yes. And then I asked Ocean, what sort of places would you like to go? What sort of things would you like to see? And what did you say, Ocean?
All 8 big boys and all 8 challengers and 2 Shanghai maglevs and the golden spike.
And what is the golden spike?
Something that's in the middle of Utah where the Transcontinental Railroad met.
I can't wait to go see those things with you. I also asked Ocean if there are any sports that Ocean likes to do. What do you like to do?
Go skating and ride my bike and go on my scooter.
And are there any sports you would like to try?
Horseback riding.
I can't wait to do that with you too. And then I asked Ocean, would you like to have a pet someday?
Yup. And they're a cat and a dog.
But only
If they will live good together, good.
that's why they're tied together. They have to get along. Yeah. And then I asked Ocean, Would you like to be a parent someday?
Yep,
And how many kids do you want?
77.
We're looking forward to that too. It's okay. We'll put it back on. Thank you. And the last question that I'm going to ask Ocean today is, Ocean, where would you like to live someday?
With all of my community and all of my family and all of my friends. Which means my whole community right here.
Dear Ocean, it's
It's
a blessing you were born.
And it matters what you do. Thank you for being you.
Sasha, you're next.
One thing I want to do with my one and wild, precious life is that I want to achieve my dream job as a forensic scientist. Biology is something that really fascinates me because there are many things your body can do and many facts that you never knew about your body. For example, the hydrochloric acid or the stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve most metals. A quote I like by one of my favorite TV shows forensic scientist named Dexter Morgan is, "In this matter, I see stories of violence and chaos that only someone like me can decode." I like this quote because it shows that forensic scientists have very complex minds that can solve the most gruesome scenes that most people don't see every day. Something besides biology that I enjoy doing is drama club. The show we are doing right now is called Everyone Gets Eaten by Sharks. I got the part as Adventure Dan's rich father called Dadums in the prologue. I also got the role of another husband by the name of Armand in scene 7. It's a fun show where you can join Adventure Dan on a tour through shark-infested scenarios such as kayaking with meat paddles or genetically engineering sharks for science. 3 things in life are certain: taxes, death, and specifically death by sharks. A delightfully madcap comedy you're sure to devour, unless it devours you first. Besides just the acting, I also like the cast and crew, because everyone has each other's backs. For example, if you forget any lines or stage directions, the cast and crew is there to help you out. You can make so many inside jokes and become friends with people you didn't know you had. That's what happened to me and my best friend Cassidy. In my downtime, I always love to read Stephen King books. My favorite book of his is The Shining. It has a great plot about how the mind can affect the person that it controls, especially someone with a small case of cabin fever and possibly even schizophrenia. The book shows how any environment can have a strong impact on behavior and mental health. The brain is a part of your body that you need to take very good care of, because if you don't, it can affect you in so many ways. Thank you for listening to my one and only precious life.
Dear Sasha, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Curtis.
It's a little wild to be part of the younger generation, but yeah. Okay, so question that was posed was, what will you do with your one wild and crazy life? So I have a very short answer, and then a much longer answer that kind of explains how I came to this. So the short answer is I will be a present, loving, and involved father, husband, and friend. So family, community, caring for people who are in my life and taking care of those, my daughter and my wife, are what I'm going to be doing with my wild, crazy life. So how did I realize that that's kind of the goal here? A decade ago, in January 2015, I was finishing my bachelor's degree in psychology and applying and waiting for responses to grad school. I was on a path to getting a doctorate in psychology and planning to move into academia and be a professor. I wanted to do research, answer important questions, and impact students as I had been impacted as an undergraduate. That started, but life has a funny way of laughing at you when you when you tell it your direct expectations. What's the quote? If you want to make God laugh, tell me your plans. So I was reminded, I've been reminded over the last half decade or so of what really matters. In June of 2019, my maternal grandmother passed away. Soon, in August that same year, my paternal grandfather passed away as well. Years prior, my mother, we found out, had a hole in her cortex. And so when we all were out there for my grandmother's funeral, it kind of became clear to myself and our other family members the progression of my mom's cognitive degradation due to the hole. My father did not seem to be taking these occurrences very seriously. And so finally, after pressing, we got him to move the two of them into a retirement home and had care assistance and all that stuff. Soon after, we got a formal diagnosis of early onset dementia and Alzheimer's. And then a couple months later, I started receiving unfortunate phone calls from other neighbors, alleging that my father was not behaving most kindly towards her mom. We, with some assistance, moved her from Washington to Colorado to be closer to myself and my brother, and got her moved into a care facility here that tended to provide more support, and we moved into kind of a new routine of life. That was in January 2020. March of 2020, COVID happened. We couldn't see my mom. We saw her through gates, through windows, and when we could see her, it was a very short time. And finally, in the fall of that year, when we could kind of do a little more time with her, it became clear how her prognosis had progressed, and it seemed to be that the lack of interaction may have impacted some of that. She passed away December 2020. I took the following semester off from grad school to kind of think about what I wanted to do with my life, and came to the conclusion that I didn't really want to spend 2 more years finishing a doctorate that no longer seemed as interesting or as important as some other things. That summer, in 2021, I found out my wife was pregnant. And so I quickly moved into transitioning to a different career that would pay more and also require less time for me. Later that December of 2021, almost a year after my mom passed away, I got a call letting me know that one of my very close friends from high school and college had committed suicide. So life comes at you pretty fast and reminds you of what really matters. And what really matters is family, friendship, and community. Getting a doctorate and pursuing academia was a goal I had, but the reality is that it does not matter as much now. I have transitioned to a different industry and I work less hours. I'm much less stressed than I was in grad school, and I have more time to spend with people I care about and do things with. So what am I doing with my wild and crazy life? I'm going to spend time with my amazing daughter, with my amazing wife, with our soon-to-be born son, and I'm going to be a good husband, a loving father, and a good dad. If that's all I'm known for, that's what I will take away as being a successful and happy life. Thank you.
Dear Curtis, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Okay. Clay is going to read us a poem in lieu of a story. There you go.
Hello, test. All right. This is The Lanyard by Billy Collins. The other day, I was ricocheting slowly off the blue walls of this room, moving as if underwater from typewriter to piano, from bookshelf to an envelope lying on the floor, when I found myself in the L section of the dictionary, where my eyes fell upon the word lanyard. No cookie nibbled by a French novelist could send one into the past more suddenly. A past where I sat at a workbench at a camp by a deep Adirondack lake, learning how to braid long, thin plastic strips into a lanyard, a gift from my mother. I had never seen anyone use a lanyard or wear one, if that's what you did with them. But that did not keep me from crossing strand over strand again and again until I had made a boxy red and white lanyard for my mother. She gave me life and milk from her breasts, and I gave her a lanyard. She nursed me in many a sick room, lifted spoons of medicine to my lips, laid cold face cloths on my forehead, and then led me out into the airy light and taught me to walk and swim. And I, in turn, presented her with a lanyard. Here are thousands of meals, she said, and here is clothing and a good education. And here is your lanyard, I replied, which I made with a little help from a counselor. Here is a breathing body and a beating heart, strong legs, bones and teeth, and 2 clear eyes to read the world, she whispered. And here, I said, is the lanyard I made at camp. Then here, I wish to say to her now, is a smaller gift. Not the worn truth that you can never repay your mother, but the rueful admission that when she took the 2-tone lanyard from my hand, I was as sure as a boy could be that this useless, worthless thing I wove out of boredom would be enough to make us even.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's get to the midpoint of people's lives. Dear Clay, sure. It's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. He's not on the official program. All right, Meagan, you're next.
Morning. Well, now I want a lanyard. So, as I headed to a coffee shop to ponder how I wanted to respond to this question, I brought with me this printout of Mary Oliver's quote. And this was given to me by a wonderful leader at my organization, and she gave these out shortly after I started in my new role there. It felt like a cool moment of synchronicity, given that I first heard this quote here at Namakwa and this beloved community many years ago. But when I thought on this time-honored question, I found myself thinking about the importance of community, of helping and caring for others. And this is paraphrased, but as Jimmy Carter said, I aim to do whatever I can for as long as I can and with whatever I have to try and make a difference. I aim to have an even greater focus on doing what I can do for others and for our world in this next chapter of my wild and precious life. I then found myself reflecting on Andrea Gibson's poem titled Acceptance Speech after setting the world record in goosebumps. In this poem, Andrea gives examples of the sheer number of goosebumps that they get during both momentous and everyday moments. This made me think of the immense gratitude that I have for the variety of experiences that I was blessed to enjoy just this past year, experiences that gave me goosebumps, such as visiting Costa Rica, where we boated above racing dolphins and had breakfast with macaws, 721 goosebumps. Experiencing incredible live shows by some of my favorite musicians and spoken word artists, 513 goosebumps. Swimming at the base of the Tetons and stargazing from hot springs, 682 goosebumps. Feeling the summer breeze and admiring a honeybee among the flowers, 417 goosebumps. Snuggling and laughing with my family, 938 goosebumps. And listening to my kids play, imagine, wonder, and make music, 1,000 goosebumps. As Andrea writes at the end of this poem, quote, "There's no escaping the magic now. Beauty caught me and never let me go. And the thing about this world record for goosebumps is, if someone breaks it after me, and they will break it after me, I will love that so much that without even trying, I'll break it again." I love this poem and its take on how we can be more present to the beauty and love around us every day. So when I envision the rest of my life journey, I look forward to so many things, like seeing my kiddos continue to grow into incredible humans, hopefully having the privilege of growing old with Glenn and traveling to cherished and new destinations, enjoying delicious coffee and good meals with family and friends, hearing the birds, growing plants, feeling my feet in the grass, laying in the hammock, centering physical movement and personal growth, reading good books, listening to great music, and stopping for a dance party every now and then, loving myself, loving others, and leaving things just a bit better than I found them. So may we continually experience and create beauty, joy, and love in this world, and may our lives be lived in such a way that gives us goosebumps.
Wow. Dear Meagan, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing this. Let's see, Dona. Dona Leonard. I asked her if she would do a dance. She didn't.
Oops. Oh, that's the podium. This is the lectern.
I was messing that up.
All about semantics. Okay. I think this is my second or third. I can't remember. Anyway, we've been here for a while. In my 20s, all that was and had been before came into question. In my 30s, agency and self-direction culminated in the choice of a forever home. Partly a new pin on a map, but profoundly sweeter, choosing a partner and giving birth to our daughter, a forever connection. In my 40s, as if out of concern for mistakenly having left something behind, I made an abrupt U-turn to rifle through a musty closet for remnants of how things were supposed to be, for how to judge progress and purpose, and to somehow find who the hell was supposed to tell me what comes next. Crickets. These, my 50s, are thus far the years that I think I've been hoping for all along. I no longer insulate myself from rude awakenings, which crop up once or twice a day. Sometimes they come rapid fire, like a pesky full-time playmate, splashing my face again and again just before I can catch my breath. I'm learning to keep my eyes open, despite the sting. I'm learning to appreciate where these events might have come from and how I came to label them as rude awakenings in the first place. At times, I feel I can see so deeply into their nature that all boundaries just dissolve into a still point. I love it there. So how to answer the question about what I will do, strike that, what I am doing, with my one wild and precious life. I have made another U-turn, this time quantum quick, not years long. With one leap, I've landed both feet right back where the seeds of cognitive science and machine learning planted themselves for me in my 20s. These have sprouted tendrils that now encircle the globe. I am taking a seat at the table where discussions are taking place to safeguard the dignity and quality of life derived from our participation in work. At this point, the discussion centers on the present and future of artificial intelligence, in all the forms it ultimately may or may not take. I am fortunate to be engaged in a profession which has pledged to participate in the crafting of AI at work by exposing its various architects and their agendas. It's difficult to write about AI today without evoking the ominous. That's why it's important to establish a process by which the curtain is regularly peeled back to expose the contents of the would-be black box. It's worthwhile to consider that with each and every technological revolution of record, the fear of chaos and otherworldliness has been stirred. So we need to take full responsibility as its creator. There's nothing new under the sun, except our perception, which is everything.
Dear Dona, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Good job. Let's see. A rapper has appeared. Doug Stewart.
We're gonna do an experiment together. This is my very first rap. It may be your very first rap. I make reference in the rap to William Bridges' Transitions book, so I just and we're getting ready up here, I think. Here we go. This is gonna go pretty fast. You're welcome to clap along. You're welcome to rap with me, and good luck with the timing. Here we go. For me, the 60s are a time of transition. They find me casting about for a new life mission, retiring from stressful long vocation to discover now new inner narration. Rat race over, should I now have more fun? What song shall I sing before I am done? Live a life of ease or find more to do? Try to make a difference or just be blue? Transitions start with endings, William Bridges said. No longer those deadlines, no longer corporate led. No longer wakened by buzz of alarm, but what to do now before I buy the farm. For now, extra sleep and a nap ain't bad. Inside I feel young, but am no longer lad. I find I am trying lots of different things out. Riding, traveling, justice, what's life to be about? Meanwhile, the body is letting me know it's not clear what distance that it will go. The jog that preceded a full day's successes is now a walk what the whole day addresses. Without work to-do lists, I listen more to news, the ones well off, unwilling to pay their dues. Freedom, they shout, see my thread's ability, yet view the whole cloth. How about more humility? There is reality, you deniers of truth, so the whole human race is soullessly uncouth. If we can't agree on what is real, what use is it for me to even try to spiel? When in the dumps, I touch my touchstone, a place with others where I feel at home, a place where beloved community is possible. It's you people be the ones responsible. For we, humankind, it's the kindness that must bind us, have faith in a love that after all will find us. We seekers, we searchers for truth and meaning, connect us to a love toward which we're all leaning. From the corner of my eye, hence I think I see, good process more than tasks life wants from me. It's the way we do, the heart we bring, the journey more than the gaining of the thing. My cards in the air, the land I know not where, all I really know is I've really got to care. To be more present, I am confirming to say yes to life, to be more affirming. To end the 60s rap, maybe now I notice more time for sunsets, walks and hearing others' lore. Booster of beauty makes the world more becoming, a song for me, if not singing, then at least humming.
Dear Doug, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Who knew we had a rap star in Doug? Let's see what's next. We come together every week for a whole variety of things, and one of them is to show how we walk our talk. So in addition to supporting this church, we are going to be contributing in January and February to Wellspring Health Access. Guided by their motto, your decision, your choice, Wellspring Access is deeply committed to providing compassionate, safe, and supportive reproductive care in a secure environment. Your contributions will help support their mission to create a safe haven for those seeking reproductive health care. Together, let us affirm the values of compassion and choice by supporting Wellspring Access in their vital work. So please be generous as we listen to one of Ryan's arrangements.
I didn't know I had to follow a rap.
Could you maybe speed it up a little? And now for our last group. I put this slide in there because it seems like many people, when they get to a certain age, want to jump out of airplanes. Not me, but you remember Shirley Rawson, age 90, that was her birthday wish, and she did it. So anyway, something to aspire to. Randy, you're next. Randy Schnepf is one of our new members, and it's a pleasure to have him speak to us today.
All right, can everybody hear me? The 70s, wow. Okay, I'm a fairly new entrant to the 70s. I just turned 70 last May. When you get to be 70, you really feel like that clock is ticking. You need to make every second count. You got to get your act together if you want to get stuff done. So with this in mind, I'm going to share with you all my plans for what it is that I will do with my one wild and precious life during my 70s. Let me preface those plans, though, by first saying that I'm retired. I've already done decades of professional work and extensive international travel, so those two items I can check off the bucket list. With that in mind, here's what I'm really going to do now with my 70s. First, I want to be an active member of my community, fighting for the values that I cherish, and I want to build an ever-expanding network of friends. I anticipate that Namakwa UUC will be an essential catalyst for both of these activities. Second, I'll maintain the daily exercise routine that has served me so well the past 50 years in fending off the effects of aging. And that includes about 5 miles of walking every day. I used to run those 5 miles, but that was a lifetime ago. And I add to that 15 to 20 minutes of stretching, and then 3 days a week I lift weights. Third, I will engage in a joyous indulgence in my many hobbies, including, first, golf. I plan on golfing as much as possible while still preserving my marriage. I'm going to have to find a delicate balance there. Second, I'm playing the guitar. Hopefully, I'll play that at least 4 or 5 times a week, more if possible, in response to my love of music. Also, I'm hoping that the hand-eye coordination you need to play the guitar will be an antidote against Alzheimer's and dementia. My third hobby, I will read, and then I will read some more, in response to a burning passion for knowledge and a love of the written word. This includes my daily newspapers, the Washington Post and New York Times, and since moving to Colorado, I've added the Loveland Reporter-Herald. And also, I have an ever-growing list of books that I'm eager to read in an effort to learn everything that there is to learn before I die. Please excuse my hubris. And to indulge in my ardent passion for history, science, and science fiction. My fourth hobby, I hope to renew my passion for astronomy, which I was forced to abandon while living in the Washington, D.C. area, where the light pollution prevented seeing the skies. Now that I have access to the clear night skies of Colorado, I can once again study the night sky in order to better understand my place in the universe. And finally, I plan on enjoying each and every day, sharing the natural beauty of Colorado, as well as good friends, good food, and family with my wife, Anita, and imbibing in the many delicious flavors of hazy IPA beer that are available here in Colorado. I'm hoping that that will fill up my 70s and get me ready for the 80s. Thank you.
Nice job. Dear Randy, it's a pleasure you were born, and it matters what you do. Thanks for being you. We always go over on this service, so just sit tight for a little while. We got a couple more. Loretta? Loretta Hogg.
have to tell you, Doug, the 60s were great. I retired and moved to Bellingham, Washington, and joined every group I could think of. You know, I had the best time. And it's been good since then, but that was the best. And now I'm turning 87 this month. So the thing I have to mention is that I have a neighbor behind me who checks to make sure I open my window each morning by 9 o'clock. And if I don't do it by 9 o'clock, she'll call me. So I got that on me. And tomorrow, I have to renew my driver's license for the last time. Big eye, because once you're over 80, you have to do every 5 years. And by next time, I'll be 92, and you don't want me on the road, even if I'm alive, you know. So anyway, so I've sort of, I have a few things listed, and who knows how much time I have, but I want to make sure these get done. I've been here, living here 9 years, and I have not seen the maroon bells. So my son has promised to take me. I've seen it only in photos and paintings, but never been there. So that's number one. In my neighborhood, we have working on reducing energy and plastics. I mean, that's our goal. As far as travel, in 2019, I went to Norway and Iceland, which luckily I did, because that was it. I had planned a trip to Provence, but that didn't happen. Actually, I felt a little greedy, so I canceled it. That wasn't smart. So now we had COVID, and then my traveling friend Linda got back problems, and we couldn't go anywhere. She's fine, so I think we'll get as far as the East Coast. We went to Italy at one point, but this is it. And as far as surviving politically, I promise to be more open-minded, but think critically, and respond in letters, and stay as active as I can, and support the movements I really believe in. And worldwide, my money is going to go to Doctors Without Borders, who have helped all these refugees around the world. You know, that's it, that's my big plan. And then maybe I might even try for the 90s, I don't know I'll make that far, but anyway, thanks.
Dear Loretta, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. Well, Clay Roper was nice enough to go over to Marie Steen's house, and we videotaped her, so she's our 90th decade representative, and we're going to hope this works. There we go. And you might have heard of Robin Hood, but do you know what a Robin Hood is? You're going to find out.
My name is Marie, and I love music, no matter what kind or anything. And I have a plaque that my daughter bought me some time ago, and it's on the wall over there, and it says, "When words fail, music speaks." And that has stayed with me all this time, because I think it's just so true. I haven't gone far with music, although I've wanted to. I always wanted to take some kind of lessons when I was a kid, but it wasn't in the cards for me. So anyway, I had to wait until I got grown up with my kids, made sure they had lessons, and I picked up things along the way, anything I could read or learn from, and I started with different instruments, went as far as I could before arthritis set in and life kind of got in the way. But I got through all that, And next thing, well, I lost my middle son in 2014 to lung cancer. And, oh shoot. Next big thing that I did, or only probably big thing, was ride the Rockies on a bicycle. In '86 and '87, they were the first 2 years that they had it. And that was a really fantastic time. We went quite a long rides. I think it was 7 days, climbing the passes. And that's quite an experience because you spend most of the day climbing and trying to get there to the campsite before dark started to set in. And it is just a lot of fun. I mean, I can't, you can eat as much as you want, you won't gain weight. And there's other advantages too. But going up, you sweat blood practically. I mean, it's a hard ride, but it's a fun ride. It's so quiet and peaceful and beautiful. And looking down at, it's just, I can't describe it, give it enough credit, really. I don't have the words. I'm sorry. When going up to the Continental Divide, when we made it up there and we stopped to rest on top, there was Bill Walton. I don't know how many of you might know who Bill Walton is, but he was a great basketball player, and he's so tall. I'm only 5 feet tall. My little bike is way down here, and his is, I'd have to get on a ladder to get on it if I ever could get on it. But he was very nice, and it was a wonderful treat to meet him. And there's a lot of other little stories that go along with this trip, but I can't fit them all in. But anyway, it was all great. Then comes, I guess, my archery. I got into that. I always wanted to do it as a kid, playing cowboys and Indians and that kind of thing. And we'd make our own bows out of birch wood and things like that that would bend nice and easy, and had a lot of fun with it, but always wanted to do it. Didn't have the opportunity until I got to my 50th birthday, and I decided I'm going to get me a bow and arrow because I want to learn how to do it. And so we went to Aerodynamics in Fort Collins. I don't know if it's still there or not, but it was a great shop. And I got myself a traditional bow and some arrows, and I'm all over there. I've got several bows and some arrows that I made. I used to make my own arrows out of wood and paint them up and everything. And that was a lot of fun. I loved doing all that stuff. And I met a man at the archery range that said he had this particular bow for sale that I kind of had my eye on, and I wanted to try it out. So he invited me over to his place, and he had his animal targets set up in his garage so we could go back as far as we wanted to and just shoot right into the garage. And I didn't know that much about it. I had been shooting for a long time. I had a lot of practice, probably a million shots that weren't any good, but I was learning. And he told me I had no idea where to shoot the animal for the best kill, the least pain and all that. And he showed me exactly where, and I said, okay. So there's a certain way you do this. It's a process of getting yourself ready and letting the arrow go. And I went through the process, shot the first arrow, and it went where it was supposed to. I didn't know it was going to, really. And he said, okay, that was really good. Now do it again, the same place. I got my arrow up that, and let it go. And first thing you know, he's jumping around and hooting and hollering, and I didn't know what was wrong with him. So I didn't know that I did anything wrong, but I had gotten my first Robin Hood, and that's when you shoot one arrow inside the first arrow that you shot, or you split it if it's a wooden one. And that was exciting. He says, I've been trying all my life to get one, and I never got one. So this is really exciting for me, and I still didn't quite get it, because I wasn't that knowledgeable. I hadn't been shooting all my life, but a good part of it, I loved it so much that I was practicing all the time, and that's what it takes. The next thing I'm going to get to is music, and that takes practice too. You got to practice if you're going to if you really want to get good. Take things in little increments, little bit, and work on them until you get it, and then, you know, move a little bit at a time, and you will get better. I see that Ryan is going to have some lessons, music theory lessons, and I would dearly love to do that, but I'm unable to. But between he and Dana, I would love to pick their brains, because they're so smart and so good and play such beautiful music, and I would love to get anything I could out of them to learn. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow here. I don't know where to go from here, I'm sorry. But I will keep on practicing. I got my little ukulele, which I love dearly, and little by little, I'm getting to learn the fingerboard better and everything, because I want to be able to play all over it. And most of all, I've got such good people around me, but why do I get so scared when I'm playing? If they walk in on me, I just kind of just go to pieces, and I wish I could get over that. And if there's anybody in this congregation that can help me get over that, I would be eternally grateful. And I've been so grateful for all the people, wonderful people I've met here. Everybody's been so kind to me. When they got excited over my 90th birthday, I didn't understand why. It just didn't register to me. But boy, I've learned a lot, and everybody's been wonderful to me. I have no complaints. This grown old, it's not for sissy, but it's not all bad. It really isn't. People are awfully good to me. I don't know why, but they are. And I think that about wraps it up, and I'll wrap it up with when words fail, music speaks. Thank you all for everything.
Dear Marie. Sure. Dear Marie, it's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. Thank you for being you. There was no way to edit that. We needed to see the whole thing. Sherry is going to send us off here with the chalice lighting. Chalice extinguishing.
Extinguishing. It has been lit, yes. Wasn't this fun? Maybe we should do it twice a year. Never mind. So, yes, it's one of the most fun services that we do. And you're always amazed if they ask you to be one of the speakers, because it means you moved into a next decade. But that's an honor too. But we have come today to begin this new year together. So may the stories that you have loved hearing this morning help you to recall a joy, a hope, or a comfort from your own life. When you think about that, were you just a child? Were you 20, 45, thinking about something you want to remember? 60? Looking at 80 or more? You think about that, tuck the memory of it into a corner of your heart to keep, for it is your one wild and precious life, a part of that. Now may the glow and the warmth of the chalice flame go with you into the days and the weeks and the months of 2025, while you lovingly prepare to be strong and hopeful. May we gather here again, knowing we are not alone, as we seek the spirit of all, called by many names. May it be so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a blessing you were born.
Yeah. Oh, you too. You have a copy. I will return.
We're gonna sing a song. Yep. I mixed them up.
Go down there and see the words.
No, you can stay with me. Thank you, everyone, and join us for coffee over at Parker Hall. And if you want to see the Robin Hood, come on up and take a look. So she had 3 of them, actually. Isn't that amazing?